Hi Internet, I'm John Appleseed. Welcome to my YouTube channel where we do a daily crossword puzzle. Today we have a cryptic crossword puzzle from the Canadian publication The Globe and Mail. And I'm trying to be more intentional and systematic about how I learn cryptic crosswords. I've been interested in them for a number of years. I watch Cracking the Cryptic regularly. They have a lot of cryptic crossword content. I do the Minute Cryptic every day. But now I'm trying to record myself solving these. I'm still not very good. But by recording myself solving these and watching the videos, I hope to improve and to be more systematic about it, I guess is the best way to say it. Okay, so what we're going to do here is use this Globe and Mail cryptic crossword puzzle. And I had originally thought that this was created in-house and was using Canadian English vocabulary. That is incorrect. That is true about their weekday regular crossword. Not the cryptic crossword, but the standard crossword, I understand now, is made in-house by the Globe and Mail and it has an effort to not use specifically UK English, but rather Canadian English. Their cryptic crossword, however, is lifted directly from the Times of London. In fact, this is number 3226 by Trelawney, copyright Times Media Limited. And as best as I can determine, this is the quick cryptic crossword that appears in the London Times, and it appears in the Globe and Mail a few weeks later. So this puzzle that I'm about to do, I think, has already been featured in the Times of London. However, those puzzles are behind a paywall, so we have to wait a while for it to come out and be able to solve it for free on the Globe and Mail. This is also not the standard Times crossword, the one that Mark and Simon will do over on Cracking the Cryptic. This is the easy one. So Mark and Simon will spend a half hour or so doing the regular cryptic crossword, and then they'll do this one, the cryptic, in 2 or 3 minutes. And this is just the easy one. They do it as a little palate cleanser. So I haven't seen them do a video of this one today, but I'm going to try it. And here's how this is going to work. I'm going to go through each of the clues, all the acrosses, then all the downs. Then I'll try and figure out what I can from crossing letters that I've got filled in. And then when we hit about the 20-minute mark, and I'm going to watch on the timer up here, when we hit about 20 minutes, I'm going to allow myself 3 hints. And then if I still can't solve with those 3 hints, I'm just going to reveal each word and try and figure out the word play or the definition that I'm missing. All right, so let's get started. One across is decline to participate in operation with seller. And the way I like to think about cryptic crossword clues is we need to split the clue somewhere into 2 parts. One part will be a standard crossword definition, either a synonym or a description of some kind. The other half of the clue, or the other part of the clue, will be wordplay that will generate the same set of letters. So a lot of times there's kind of like an understood equals sign in the middle of the clue, or sometimes there's an actual word like for or is, and is can be transformed to apostrophe S that will kind of act as an equal sign that joins the 2 parts of the clue. So let's look at this one. Decline to participate in operation with seller. And this is a 2-word phrase, 3 words and 3 words. Decline to participate could be our definition, say no or something like that. In operation with seller. So I don't know what that is. Come back to that one. 4 cross level part of cricket pitch. And this is UK English. It really helps if you've gone to Oxford or Cambridge, which I did not. And I don't know very much about cricket. So there's a lot of cricket terms that show up in these puzzles that I don't understand. Level part of cricket pitch. A cricket pitch could be a chirp, the sound a cricket makes. No, don't know what that is. Okay, 8 across is perfect packing list for one traveling light. A 3-word phrase, 4, 3, and 6. One traveling light. This has a question mark, which has various meanings. It can mean that we're violating our rule of splitting the clue into 2 parts and that the whole clue is both definition and wordplay, or it can just mean that we've kind of got a jokey interpretation going on. Perfect packing list for one traveling light. And I think one traveling light might be our definition. The middle word might be the. No, don't know that. Okay, 10 across is escapade with cloak ending in disaster. escapade with cloak ending in disaster. No, nothing's coming to mind for that. 11 across is investigation admitting large and medium difficulty. Large might be abbreviated by the letter L. So we might have a word for investigation that we're inserting an L in the middle of it. And then our definition could be medium difficulty. A medium, it can be a fortune teller, a psychic. What is a psychic? A difficulty that a psychic might have. A 7-word letter for a medium difficulty. And then we would need a 6-letter word for investigation, and then we insert an L in the middle of that to get the word for medium difficulty. Nope, can't figure that one out. 13 across, source of light amber ales going bust. Source of light might be our definition. We need 9 letters. Amber ales is 5 in amber, 4 in ale. So going bust might be an anagram indicator here. If we anagram amber ales, do we get a 9-letter 2-word phrase that means source of light? Ales. And I'm not seeing that either. Okay, 17 across, company returning to add shape. Company might be abbreviated as CO, and returning might tell us to spell that backwards. So we might have OC in here. Returning to add, well, we're probably adding shape in the middle. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the definition will be. 18 across, Disney characters, heavenly body. So I think we're going to split the clue right after the word character. The apostrophe S here is the word is, and it's acting as an equal sign. So we need a 5-letter word that is both a Disney character and a heavenly body. And I can't think of it. 19 across, NATO inquiries, upended survey. NATO inquiries, upended survey. 13 letters. Inquiries is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus 4. Okay, so I just from the number of letters, I'm guessing maybe we need to anagram NATO inquiries, those letters, upend them, to switch them around, and we're going to get a synonym for survey. Questionnaire could be a survey, and I think that uses all the letters. I'm not very good at anagrams. Questionnaire, survey singular. Okay, questionnaire. I think that's right. I would often need to write down the letters in questionnaire and NATO inquiries on a piece of paper and then cross them off one by one to make sure that is an exact anagram, but I think that's correct. 21 across, personify the setter's backing group. The setter often is used to mean me or I, the setter being the person who created the puzzle and is addressing themselves as referring to them, addressing us, referring to themselves. So personify the setter's backing group. Personify the setters. Backing often means to spell something backwards. Nope, 22 across is river cut off by mouth of Nile. We could have a name of another river apart from the Nile and shorten it somehow, and then put a word for mouth next to that. Or mouth of Nile could be the letter N, the beginning of it. All right, let's look at the downs. One down, protests goal. Again, I think we're looking for a word that is a synonym of both protest and goal. So if you protest something, you might object to it, and your goal is your object, your aim. So pronunciation doesn't count. We're looking for the letters. So object and object, I think, works there. 2 down, aviator to cheek, head of tank group, moving north. Aviator to cheek, head of tank group, moving north. Moving north in a down clue probably is a reversal indicator. We're going to spell something backwards, starting from the bottom of the grid and moving north up to the top of the grid. Aviator. 2, is that that could just be the letters T-O, and then cheek head could be the first letter of the word cheek, or head of tank group could be, I'm going to take group, is that like a brigade or a platoon or some military term? We're going to spell it backwards. We need 2 words, 4 and 5. Aviator. Nope. 3 down, complete roof drainage system without roof. And the exclamation point, I think, is what they call an "and-lit," where the whole phrase is the wordplay. Roof drainage system. A gutter. Complete. Okay, complete and utter failure is what I usually experience doing these crossword puzzles, but utter means complete. So if we take roof drainage system and define that as gutter, then we write gutter without its roof, without its first letter, especially written down. Gutter would be on the top. So we remove the roof from gutter and we get utter, which means complete. I think that's what is going on there. 5 down, literary dawn, completely repressing unknown love. Love is usually the letter 0. Love is as a tennis score. So the number 0 represented by the letter O. So love is probably O. Unknown is probably X, Y, or Z, which might be an unknown variable in a mathematical expression. And so something with an X and an O in it that might be a literary dawn could be Don Quixote of Don Quixote de la Mancha from that novel. So I think literary dawn is Quixote. Completely is quite, Q-U-I-T-E. It is repressing or including unknown, the variable X, plus love, 0 represented by O in the tennis score, and we get Quixote. All right. So I think unknown helped me out there. 6 down, rescue vessel finishes off undersea repair work. Rescue vessel could be an ark. Finishes off undersea repair work. Okay, so we're going to take the finishes off the phrase undersea repair work, i.e. the last letters of those 3 words, A-R-K, and we get rescue vessel. 7 down, Barry screen, Tom broke partially. Barry, a 6-letter word for bury, inter, or something like that. Screen Tom broke partially. I'm not quite getting that one. 9 down, see patron changing artificial language. 9-letter word ending in O. Patron could be boss. Changing artificial, so is see our definition? See can be to regard something, to look at it, or the seat of a bishopric in a church. Patron changing artificial language. No, I'm not getting that one. 12 down, vehicle oil, U.S. mine developed. Vehicle oil, U.S. mine developed. We need 9 letters. We have 9 letters in oil, U.S. mine, and developed can be used as an anagram indicator. So if we anagram the letters of oil, U.S. mine, do we get a 9-letter word for a vehicle? Limousine. I think that works. Again, not very good at anagrams, but that seems to fit. 14 down, saw dish get broken. Another anagram of dish get. Broken could be anagram indicator. Dish get is 7 letters. Do we get a 7-letter word for saw? And saw can be a tool. It can be a past tense verb. It can be an adage or a saying, an old saw. Dish get. We've got a T in there already. I'm not seeing that. Okay, 15 down, rotational force. Lecture on radio. All right, we have the Q there, and that makes me think torque is rotational force. And I think we need to use our best British accents for this. On radio is probably a homophone indicator. A lecture is a talk. And a British person who heard the word talk on the radio might hear it as talk, which could be also the way he might hear torque in a British accent. I'm making some jumps there, but I think that one is right. 16 down, Holy Book contains introduction from erudite Asian. Maybe holy is our definition. We have a word for book that contains introduction from erudite Asian. Could be the first two letters of erudite Asian, EA. Do we have a holy book or holy? Just be holy. We need a word for book, 5-letter word for book that goes around here and gives us a 6-letter word for holy. And I'm not seeing that. And I'm not sure about the EA. I could have that wrong. 18 down is writer with extremely nice pasta. Extremely sometimes means to take the first and last letters of a word. So extremely nice could be NE. A writer is a pen, a writing implement. I'm going to pick up my writer, my pen, and write something. And so if we combine pen with the extreme letters of nice, N and E, we get penne, which is a kind of pasta. 20 down, some webbing to recede. So a tide, receding tide is said to ebb. Like the tide at its ebb, I'm at peace in the web of your arms. And EBB is some letters within the word webbing, and clues of this type, the clues have to the letters have to be in order, unless there's something to indicate that we're taking every other one or something like that. But I think ebb fits here as a synonym for receive. Okay, we've got 5 more minutes to look at these. We've got some checking letters in and try and figure them out again. So to decline to participate, opt out, I think means that. Does that work? In operation, an op can be an operation with seller, a tout, a ticket tout. There's a ticket scalper, especially in the UK. So I think we put op with tout, and we get opt out, which means decline to participate. Here we've got a Q, and Simon over at Cracking the Cryptic is always on the lookout for pangrams, where the constructor is using every letter in the alphabet. We've got Q's and X's in here, so there may be a Z at some point if the constructor decided to add the extra difficulty of making a pangram. So if something is level, it is square. And a part of a cricket pitch, probably the cricket field is a cricket pitch, and maybe there is a square as part of that. I'm kind of guessing, but I think that works with the letters we have. 8 across, perfect packing list for one traveling light. Just the, I'm trying to think, I'm thinking of a phrase here. 4 letters, 3 letters, 6 letters. One traveling light, or just the essentials. Something like this would be a perfect packing list for one who wants to travel light. And it's not coming to me. It's probably just. But dare I put it in without really knowing? Just the basic, just the essentials. Some word that means that. What does that give us for 10 across? Escapade with cloak, ending in disaster. Okay, ending in disaster might be this letter R, the last letter in disaster, and then escapade is a caper. So cloak, we replace the word cloak with cape. We add the ending to ending in disaster, the letter R, and we get a caper, which is an escapade. Aviator, test pilot. We need 4 letters and 5 letters. Aviator, to cheek. Cheek can be sass. It might be test. Don't test my patience with your cheek, your impudence. Head of tank group. Moving north. A group moving north could be a set. A group is a set, and it's spelled backwards. It's moving north. Then we get to lip. Lip is cheek, is sass. Don't give me your lip. So we get to, T-O, cheek, lip, head of tank. The first letter of the word tank is T. Then set is group, and all of that entire phrase is moving north. It's going to the top of the grid. Okay, so I like just the blank as the beginning of 8 across. But we've got a couple more. We get 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to start using hints. 11 across, investigation, admitting large and medium difficulty. So L might be this large. Nope, 9 down, C, patron, changing. Artificial language. Esperanto is an artificial language. C, patron, I think that's Esperanto. Changing is an anagram indicator of C, patron, and we get it art and artificial language. Just the what? 7 down, bury, screen. Entomb can be to bury someone, and it has the letters T-O-M in it for Tom. And then broke partially could be... Okay, so we're taking, look at the words screen, Tom, broke, and a partial string within that set of 3 words we get entomb. The last 2 letters of screen, T-O-M, and the first letter of Tom, of broke. Investigation. Well, a problem is difficulty. So investigation is a probe. It is admitting large, and then we put an abbreviation for medium on the end. We get an M. L and M might be tags on a shirt for large and medium, and we get problem. Okay. Source of light, amber ales going bust. And yeah, we're going to anagram amber ales. We get laser beam, which might be a source of light. Ooh, maybe still got... Just want to take another quick look at these before I use a hint. I'm giving myself another minute or two. Company returning to add shape. Octagon is a shape. Company returning, C-O. Company is C-O. It's returning. It's spelled backwards. To add is to tag on, and that gives us the name of a shape. 18 across, Disney characters, heavenly body. Pluto is a heavenly body, and Pluto is also a Disney character. 16 down, holy book, or holy book contains introduction from erudite Asian. Tomia, no. River cut off by mouth of Nile. To embody is to personify. What's the word play there? The setter is me, backing. Group is a body. A group of people is a body of people. Okay, so then that means to personify. Saw dish, get broken. Dish get. If you saw something, you cited it. And that is an anagram of saw dish. Okay, that's pretty good. Now I'm going to allow myself, I can't quite get these, but I'm going to allow myself 3 hints. And 8 across comes to me as just the ticket. Perfect packing list. If you're traveling light, the lightest packing list you could have would be just your ticket, and just the ticket is perfect. So I think that works. Okay, yeah, we split the clue after perfect. Perfect is just the ticket. Packing list for when traveling light is also just the ticket, and the question mark tells us it's a little bit jokey. Okay, I'm going to allow myself 3 hints down here. Definitely going to use this corner because this is going to give us a letter for both words, and then I'm going to get the first letter of both words that I haven't gotten yet. And, whoops, no, I didn't want to do that. Reveal letter. So is this Korean? Holy book is Quran. It contains introduction from erudite, which is the first letter of erudite, the letter E, and we get Korean, which is an example of Asian. So yeah, that works. Then river is Severn. There's a Severn River in the UK. We take cut off, which is sever. Mouth of Nile is the first letter of the word Nile, and we get Severn, another name of a river. And I think R will finish the puzzle. Awesome. That's the first time, well, not the first, I have been able to solve one of these with no hints. This is the first one I've recorded where I only used single letter hints and didn't have to reveal any words. And did I make sure that this is all correct? Yeah, completed the puzzle in 22 minutes and 41 seconds. All right, so nearly 23 minutes for a puzzle that will take Mark and Simon probably 2 minutes to complete, but I'm pretty pleased with myself for that. So I'm going to keep this, I'm going to post this on the channel. Please comment if you have any comments on nuances or elements of the wordplay that I missed, or other abbreviations that are common that maybe I didn't explain very well. But otherwise, I'm going to watch this again, and I'll try and do one of these a week. I'm going to call this my Cryptic Crossword Apprentice class, the counterpart of the master class done by the good folks over at Cracking the Cryptic. All right, thanks for watching. Please come back for more puzzles and games, and I'll see you next time.